Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Ox Cord podcast presented by Boot Crew Media and sponsored by Makers Mark. I'm your host, Cruz Oxnard, as always, joined by the co-host Nick Perkins, who is running on a tight schedule today, so we're trying to get him out. And the intern Bon Snow, Wyatt is in the cave. Boys, week 2 is here. Week 1 of NFL is also here. We're going to go over that. DraftKings pick. I'm excited. UT Bama this weekend. Me and Bon will be there because we love the Tide more than Nick and Wyatt. So
apparently so, yeah. No, I mean, week 1 in the books, obviously. Week 2, hopefully, we got as good games as we did in week 1 because that week 1 was probably the best week 1 of all time.
Great games, and I'm happy I got to be at the best of the best. But I'm also hoping I am at one of the worst games as far as a viewing standpoint of Texas fans and the rest of the country. So let's go ahead and get into it. The week 2 of the college football kickoff. We got to start Bama, Texas. It's the big game everyone's been talking about all year, all off season. I hate the fact that it's an 11 a.m. kickoff Central Time. I think this game should have easily been a night game. I think it should have been one of the most hyped, anticipated games of the college football season. But honestly, Nick, it feels like it's kind of lost its luck, like its luster the last couple weeks.
Yeah. No, I mean, the recent news coming out with Sark saying, this game doesn't really mean a lot to us this season. Our goal is to win the Big 12 championship. This game doesn't really mean anything with that. And then obviously with their quarterback situation going on, they're starting that freshman out there. Yeah. So he's a freshman, right?
No. Yeah. Well, he came in and
he's a first-year starter for them.
Yeah, first-year starter.
Yeah. So I mean, it's lost a little bit, and obviously, with Alabama showing their dominant performance week 1 and all the hype in the offseason, it just kind of feels like one of those games where it won't really ever be close. So maybe they did a good job making this the 11 a.m. game because it might be a blowout.
I don't know though, man. It's got such a primetime feel to it. Like this game should be like Ohio State, Notre Dame. I think if Texas was ranked in the top 25.
I'm shocked they didn't.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't put them at number 24. I hate that they're ranked. Alabama minus 20-point favorite, huge favorite. You know that the spread is actually closer for Appalachian State versus Texas A&M in that matchup than it is this.
Yeah, it's like 17.5, isn't it?
Yeah, that's how disrespected Texas is right now. And I people are going to be like, oh, this is disrespectful. This is Alabama bias. The SEC is overrated. The SEC only lost one game last week, and they should have actually, in retrospect, could have won it. But I think this is going to be a bloodbath, Nick. I really do. I think Will Anderson is going up against a freshman tackle, not just freshman tackle, freshman guard as well. Texas is going to be running for their lives. And I think Bijan Robinson, best running back in the country, to a lot of people, is going to have to play the game of his life. We're talking like Reggie Bush, Derrick Henry type running the football. I don't think they get it done though. I have it Bama winning 45-17.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably about where this game is going to be. I don't see a situation where this Texas defense can stop Bryce Young and this Alabama offense from scoring at least 40 points. So for this game to be competitive, Texas is going to have to be able to throw the ball against this Alabama defense. And based on what we've seen so far, it looks like Alabama secondary is just full of first-round talent. As far as development, even the youngsters out there are playing like they're NFL starters. So it's going to be tough for them. And I honestly am shocked this 20.5-point spread isn't more. As the week gets closer, obviously we're sitting here on Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Lots of big money loves to go on the Tide right before the game kicks off. I wouldn't be shocked if this spread went up to 22, 23 points.
Yeah, ESPN Power Index has Bama favored at 81.8%. I think 20 is okay. I actually even surprised it's 20. I thought they would at least make it like 17, maybe 15. The main battle for me, everyone's going to say it's Bryce Young versus yours. I don't see it that way. I see it being a matchup of Will Anderson versus their freshman tackle. Yeah. I think if he comes out and can just give him enough time, this will be a very interesting matchup. My worries is that this kid's going up against the best player in all of college football, and he's going to be running for his life. Now, Utah State last week clearly game planned around Will Anderson and was like, hey, you're going to get your plays, but we're not going to be the reason why we lose and can't do anything. The problem is, though, is the rest of this Bama defense is elite. So
yeah,
you have,
they're all 5 stars.
Yeah, you have Dallas Turner, you have Henry To'oTo'o, you have the amazing secondary that are going to play out of their mind. Xavier Worthy is a great receiver for Texas. He's one of the best in the country. I want to see how that matchup is going up against Kool-Aid. Is the Eli Ricks show coming to town in Austin? I think there's a lot of really compelling storylines, but I feel like this game is going to get out of hand fast. I think it'll be a 7-point game at the end of the first quarter, and then I'm predicting a non-offensive touchdown. I'm going to go ahead and call my shot right now. I'm going to say Jordan Battle gets a pick 6 in this game.
Sheesh. All right, call the shot.
I'm calling the shot.
Call the shot.
Calling a shot.
I think you kind of touched on it. It's Will Anderson's game. If he can make an impact, this game's not even close. Let's just say, though, Texas game plans for him. They slide a tight end, 250-pound tight end out there to help on a chip block or something. Like you said, I mean, this defense, this game is going to be won or a blowout because of the trenches. If they're able to protect the quarterback, he stands in the pocket and delivers a ball. I could see Texas dropping, 24 to 30 points because, I mean, Sark is who he is. He's a great offensive mind. But Will Anderson being the best player in the country, I think even if you game plan for the kid, he's still going to get some sacks on it. He's still going to make big plays. He doesn't even need to be in the sacks. He can just bottle you up in the run game. Yeah. He can, just get pressure on the quarterback for some really bad throws. And I like you calling a shot, free safety over the top, Jordan Battle. Will Anderson maybe strikes his arm on a throw, and it's an easy pick 6. So I wouldn't be shocked if that happened. If I had to give it a score prediction, though, I don't necessarily see Saban running the score up on an assistant coach. I think he really liked Sark, and I imagine he was sad to see him go. So I think the best bet here is probably to go under the 64.5. I think is what it is right now. But I would obviously you have to go Bama spread. But I don't see them running the score up here.
Yeah, I think 20. I mean, it's very realistic, even if it's 45-17.
It's on the road. That's the thing. It's like
if this was
neutral site or in Tuscaloosa, this spread might be 30. Yeah,
I completely agree with that. So I think we're all on the same page. I'm taking Bama minus 20. You're taking Bama minus 20. Bon, are you feeling the same?
Yeah. I don't think our defense lets up more than 17, like you said, and I don't think Texas defense is good enough to they gave up 10 to Louisiana Monroe last week.
Yeah. And yours threw an interception as well. And if you think the pass rush from that defense was rough, what do you think is coming to town? So second biggest game I like this week, and I don't think is actually getting enough love, is South Carolina going to Fayetteville to play the Razorbacks. Razorbacks favored by 8 at a -8. Over-unders at 53. Nick, you're high on South Carolina. I respect you for it, but I think they're getting ready to run into a buzzsaw that is Sam Pittman and KJ Jefferson and the Razorbacks. I think Arkansas wins this game handily. I don't believe in Spencer Rattler. I don't believe the hype. You're a big fan of Beamer. I think this game is way too big for him. I like Arkansas. I like Arkansas -8. I think they win by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I am big on them, but I will say this game is a tough one. Again, if this was South Carolina at home, a little bit of a different story. Yeah. But it is on the road. Sam Pittman coming off a really big win against Cincinnati. They're going to be feeling themselves, going to play with a little bit of swag. I love KJ Jefferson. I think he's a great athlete. Reminds me a lot of that Florida quarterback down there, Anthony Richardson, just a big body dude. But what really impressed me more against that Cincinnati game than really truly anything, he didn't go out there and lose the game for him. That's the key. If KJ Jefferson can go out there and just at times just be a game manager, don't lose the game, Arkansas is going to be a very, very good team this year. Having said that,
no, Nick.
South Carolina +8 on the road.
Nick, oh.
I like Shane Beamer. I think this is his game. This is his time to be on the spotlight. You got Florida the week after this. It's a tough slate for him. But I think if they can come out of these 2 games 1-1, I mean, he's going to be sitting pretty. Georgia next week. Yeah, if they can come out of this slate 1-1, then that's going to be key for him. 8-point spread's tough, but I'm still taking South Carolina +8. I think they keep it close.
All right, Bun, how are you feeling about this?
Yeah, like you said, I don't think that South Carolina has a realistic chance in this game. I think an 8-point spread is disrespectful to Arkansas personally, and I do not think that this over hits at 53.
Well, I mean, you guys are
I think
Cincinnati's
South Carolina-
gutted.
Well,
I still like
Cincinnati's
Arkansas.
yeah. I think Cincinnati would be South Carolina on a neutral field
In the current year.
this year. Yeah, I would think
Okay.
Cincinnati to win that game.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's asinine saying. Do you?
No, I don't think it's crazy to say that, but I would say it's a lot closer than what people think. Cincinnati played Arkansas close.
Yeah. Now I think this is going to be for second place in the SEC East this year. The matchup between Florida and Kentucky. Florida shocks the world last week, beats down the number 7 team in the country in Utah. One of my playoff picks, my prediction to win the Pac-12. Kentucky, a lot of hype coming in this year as well. They have an NFL guy at quarterback. Their star running back, though, last I heard, he's not going to play.
Yeah.
And Rodriguez, suspension for, I believe, DUI. I'm leaning Florida in this game. I liked what I saw from Anthony Richardson. This dude is electric. I've been on him all off season. I think this guy he's got the capability to do something this year. This right here, this is huge because Kentucky, historically, Florida has owned Kentucky. But the last couple of years, Kentucky, since about 2018,
Yeah.
they've kind of come out and they've been able to fight back against Florida a little bit in this rivalry. I'm actually taking Florida in this game. I like the Gators. I like what I saw from their defense. I thought their defense was going to be good, but a little shaky, depending on what they had come back. Completely wrong. Their defense actually, won the game for them. Great goal line stand in the end zone against Cam Rising. I like Florida. And I like Florida to cover, Nick. I really do.
Yeah. I mean, Florida, Kentucky here, historically right. Florida owns this series. Key to this one is going to be Anthony Richardson not throwing the game away, but I think he has a ton of talent. I think it's a really good year for him as far as getting his name out there on draft boards. Florida -6. I mean, I guess they're calling that because maybe this is an emotional game last week, so it's going to be a letdown this week. It is in Gainesville, which I mean, again, what we've talked about, Gainesville in the swamp, in September, that heat. I know Kentucky can get used to that, but last I checked, they're pretty far north. Maybe they don't get as much humidity. Florida -6, I think, is your best bet here. I think Anthony Richardson honestly goes off against them. And the other side, I don't know if you caught that Kentucky game. They didn't necessarily just look super impressive in that week 1 game.
No, I don't think so either. But I also feel like they didn't show a lot because they knew they were going up against Florida. So I think they definitely took their foot off the brakes. Florida, on the other hand, showed a lot against Utah. So I think Kentucky's going to have a lot to work with. Now, the problem is you can watch Anthony Richardson on film. Problem is getting him down. Nick, I went back and watched that game yesterday. Kid is a freak, and he's hard to bring down. He is a bowling ball, and I'm watching his read option, and he's got it, man. He can run that to perfection, and if you don't contain him, he's gone 50 yards up the sideline, and we saw that already.
He's a big-bodied guy. I mean, he's I think you even said it in the text message to me watching him play. I mean, it looks like Cam Newton out there. It's hard to bring the guy down. I think it's a great comparison too.
He looks like obviously week 1, very early to tell.
That's a good Utah defense that he did that to.
It is a good Utah team he did that to, and they could not stop him. They knew what he was going to do and still could not stop him. So I have Florida covering -6, winning in the swamp, going 2-0, 1-0 in SEC play. I mean, they got moved all the way up from unranked to number 12 in the country. So
it's a big win. That's a
huge win. I probably would have put him like top 20. I think maybe like 18, 17, but to jump that far to 12 is whew.
Voters aren't playing around this year, no doubt.
Yeah, exactly. Bond, how do you feel?
I also like Florida -6 here. I again don't think the over hits though, just because playing at the swamp is. We saw how difficult it can be last week against Utah, and I'm not that high on Kentucky this year. So I think that Florida wins and covers, but I don't think the over hits.
Okay, so I think we're on agreement there. I like this game a lot because I think this is going to tell us a lot about these two teams going up. Pitt and Tennessee. I have Pitt going to the ACC championship game. I have Tennessee as, everyone's dark horse. Pitt played a very emotional and very good backyard brawl game against West Virginia. First time they played in a while. Loved it. Make it an annual thing. Bring it back. Tennessee played Ball State. As we all know, ball ain't a state, but it's a way of life. I think this is going to tell us a lot about these two teams. My mind says Tennessee, but my heart's telling me Pittsburgh. I like Pittsburgh. I like what they had on defense. I think that they are going to give Tennessee some problems. This Tennessee offense, so it looks so explosive. The matchup for me is going to be Slovis versus Hendon Hooker. And I think I'm going to go Pitt. I think I'm going Pittsburgh on this one. I like what they have on the defensive line. I think Tennessee is feeling themselves a little too much going into this game. I think Pitt has something to prove after, getting scared at home in a crazy game. I'm going Pitt plus 6.5, and I think they escape with the win. But I think this is going to be a really good game.
Yeah, I mean, wisdom always says you take the home underdog, right? Always take them.
Mm-hmm.
Having said that, Tennessee minus 6.5. I think this offense is just so damn good. If West Virginia was able to score against them, Tennessee is going to be able to score against them. It's going to be a shootout. And, I'm not necessarily so sure that Slovis and that Pitt offense is going to be able to hang with this Tennessee offense. So give me 6.5 in the over.
Ooh, going over. I like the over in this game too. I do like the over.
To keep it close, they're going to have to score with them. I just don't see it.
Yeah.
I am also taking the over. However, I think Tennessee wins and covers. Ooh. I did not like what I saw out of Pitt in the backyard brawl. They covered 7 points against a not very good West Virginia team. I think they come in like 4th in their division in the Big 12 this year.
A new quarterback, JT Daniels could be good.
5-star guy.
JT,
we don't know.
He fumbled two snaps back to back and still only lost by 7 points.
I mean, hey, that speaks high on JT.
Yeah, granted, he did that first recovery was phenomenal. He scooped that thing with like one hand and chucked it. But them struggling that much to beat a West Virginia team that I see going max 6-6 and fighting for a bowl bid.
Yeah.
I think Tennessee wins by at least 10 points, but I do like the over here. I think it's going to be a shootout.
Okay. All right. And the last game on our college slate before we go into the NFL week 1, BYU and Baylor. This game has the potential to be something really fun. Baylor, a lot of people's pick to win the Big 12. Dave Aranda's back. But the thing is, though, guys, BYU was favored in this game. And I'm having a very hard time understanding why. I know BYU is explosive. I like their quarterback Hall. I'm taking the over in this game clearly. I think this game is going to be a shootout. I could see this game being like 45-40. But I'm going Baylor. I'm taking the Bears. I like what I saw last week. I know that they didn't really play anyone too seriously, but I until Baylor gets knocked off, it's hard for me not to pick this team because I think they can show up and play defense. And I think Baylor is being disrespected by this spread. Baylor is a top 10 team in the country. They are number 9. And they're a 3-point underdog to the 21st team in the country in BYU. At BYU, I know, but no, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm going Baylor all day, and I'm taking the over.
Yeah, this spread doesn't make any sense to me. I fully thought when I saw it originally that I just saw it incorrectly. I didn't imagine Baylor would be a road dog here. I mean, Baylor is a complete team. I mean, like you said, they were 1 yard away from being in the playoff last year, right? So hard to imagine that this team doesn't bounce back, have a good year. They had a great week 1, 60-point performance. So I think they're playing really sharp right now. Baylor going on the road to BYU, give me +3 in the over. I agree with you.
All right, this is my playoff team.
Yeah.
So obviously I have to go Baylor. But I think this spread is extremely disrespectful to Baylor. Blake Shapen was the highest rated QB, passes over 10 yards last week. The last time these two teams played, Baylor won 38-24. I think that the over hits, and I'm taking BYU or Baylor straight money line.
I like that. I like that a lot. I like I said, I don't understand this. Like, how in the world can you not pick Baylor in this game? Like, I understand. Like, I think BYU is going to score points, and I think the over in this game is going to hit. Hell, the over in this game might hit after the first half. I don't know. I don't see it. Now, let's bring in, before we get into our NFL Week 1 predictions, I want to bring in Wyatt. Wyatt, how you feeling? What are your rundown picks?
Rundown picks. Alabama. Sark didn't leave in the best good graces. I've got Alabama covering that one pretty easily.
Yeah.
Arkansas, South Carolina in Fayetteville. Arkansas was not expecting Cincinnati to kind of show up and punch them in the mouth. I think they know what South Carolina can do. I've got Arkansas to cover there. Taking the under on that one, though.
Ooh, okay.
Kentucky, I had
You
that.
picked them.
I had them winning the East. This was before I knew Chris Rodriguez was suspended for a DUI on campus.
And
I'm
you
a
saw
bit-
Anthony Richardson.
And before I saw Anthony, I actually watched most of that game instead of Alabama, Utah State. That kid is the real deal. Richardson is the guy. I'm a big enough man to admit when I've been defeated. I'm taking Florida to cover.
Yeah.
I'm taking Florida to cover. I mean, not Anthony Richardson, Chris Rodriguez would be an X factor that I think could sway this game, but obviously he is out. Tennessee Pitt, I'm high on the Vols. I had them as my third team in the East this year, and like Bond said, Pitt kind of struggled with some West Virginia there, so I'm taking Tennessee to cover there. And Baylor and BYU, I don't know a ton about either team. I know BYU scored on the first play from scrimmage last week. So Jaron Hall's my guy. We're riding BYU.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
Picking the
Okay.
upset.
BYU -3.
Wow.
That,
I got
you know,
technical
that-
upset. Baylor's a
I
top
was
10
going to say,
team.
is it
It
an
would be an
upset if the
upset.
team's
It would be an
favored?
upset.
No,
It
but
would
is
be
it-
an upset.
It would be an
technical
upset.
upset.
Yeah,
because
I mean
Baylor's
they're a top
top
10 team
10.
in the country. Top
82% of the money is on Baylor right now.
10. Yeah.
Yeah, because that spread is disrespectful.
Well, that's my thing. Is Vegas just almost taunting us a little bit? You got to throw money on it.
Like, is it?
Is it too good to be true?
I don't know. What are the Mormons about the?
They gotta
hoses?
have some Mormons high up. In
They
Vegas.
have to, right?
I'm telling you.
Some,
the only thing
some betting adjuster is Mormon to BYU alum and is like, screw it. BYU favors.
I don't
The
like
Mormons. The Mormons are gamblers.
I don't like it one bit. So, what is your college lock of the week? Sponsored by the DraftKings Sportsbook app. The wait is almost over. A new football season is about to begin, boys. Week 1 kicks off tomorrow. I'm ready for it. NFL Week 1 action with the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. To celebrate the return of football, DraftKings is giving new customers a can't-miss offer. Bet just $5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, on any football game and get $200. I'm not going to count that high in free bets instantly. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use promo code BOOT, that's BOOT, to get $200 in free bets instantly when you place a $5 bet on any football game. That is code BOOT, only on the DraftKings Sportsbook app, an official sponsor of the Aux Cord podcast. Damn, that was a mouthful.
Good, read, good.
That was good.
That
Good
was
read.
good.
Read.
That was
It was a
not
great
smooth.
read.
Yeah, that was smooth. But what are your college locks of the week? I will give mine first. I love Nick, and I'm sorry, I hate to do it to you, but I love Arkansas -8. I love the Hogs here. I think South Carolina, and they're just not that team this year, not yet. Now I'm with you. I love Beamer, but after I got screwed over by Utah last week in my lock of the week. I'm not picking against I'm not picking against an SEC team again that's highly ranked. I'm going Arkansas.
Okay. Wyatt?
This team hung 70 last week, albeit it be on Bethune-Cookman. But, the team that they're playing isn't of a much higher status. The Miami Hurricanes are winning by 26 against Southern Miss.
Wow. Disrespectful to the Eagles. I'm just kidding. No, that's going to be slaughtering.
That's a
Golden
slaughter
Eagles. Golden Eagles, by the way.
in Hard Rock. That's a slaughter.
All right.
Bon, what you got, buddy?
I already said it. This is going to be my game of the week, but I'm taking Baylor +3. I think that's free money.
Yeah.
Nothing more to say about that.
All right. Well, I'm going to go a little bit different. I'm going to go not against the spread. I'm actually going to take an over-under as my lock. Give me Alabama, Texas over 65. I think that game is I think it's more of a shootout than what we would probably want it to be. I think Alabama truly has the potential to score 40, 50 on their own against this Texas defense. So it's going to be up to Texas to at least drop 10, 15, 20. I think they're fully willing and capable of doing that. It's just going to be a tough sledding against this Alabama defense, but I think somewhere along the way they get 15 or 20 points. So give me the over 65.
Ooh, okay. All right. So that is our college locks of the week. Now, week 1 of the NFL is here. I'm excited. And we have one of the best games, possibly a Super Bowl preview in week 1 to kick it off. Bills lost in a very heartbreaking fashion to the Kansas City Chiefs last year in a divisional round, going up against the defending Super Bowl champs, the LA Rams. Bills favored by -2, over under at 51.5. And I know we haven't really gone over our NFL predictions this year, guys, but I have the Buffalo Bills winning the Super Bowl this year. I love what they have. I love what they have on offense. I love what they did in the draft. I love their defense. I think Josh Allen is going to win MVP. It's hard for me not to pick the Bills here. I think right now the Rams, I could see them having a little bit of a Super Bowl hangover. I know Matthew Stafford's back. I know Cooper Kupp is coming off the greatest wide receiver season I think we've ever seen. No OBJ. They replaced OBJ with Allen Robinson. Van Jefferson's out. Aaron Donald's back. Best defensive player I think I've ever seen. And he's just a freak of nature. He makes no sense, but I'm going Buffalo. I think Buffalo wins this game. I think Josh Allen makes the play. I want to see what James Cook, the rookie out of Georgia, can do. I want to see how they're going to incorporate him in the game plan. Younger brother of Dalvin Cook, he was on Georgia last year, and he's an explosive player. Like he gets to the outside, he's gone. I want to see how they incorporate him. Are they going to make him more a wide receiver, running back, special teams? I want to see him make a play. Yeah. It's tough because a part of me is like, oh, well, it is the defending Super Bowl champs. But no, sticking to it. I'm going Buffalo. I think Buffalo wins this game and they cover the spread.
We've all heard of the Super Bowl hangover. It happens to even the best of teams. And that's going to happen to the Rams this season as well. Bills in a blowout. This game isn't close.
Blowout? Wow.
Yeah, Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league. Nobody even talks about their defense, and their defense is probably top 5 in the league. No kidding.
Von Miller on that defense now too.
It's in the leadership, man. That's almost kind of what they were missing, is a little bit of leadership and veterans on that defense. So give me Bills 2.5. I think that's so easy. I think it's not even close.
Yeah. All right, Bon, how are we feeling?
I'm also taking Bills, and I also don't think it's going to be close. I do not like this Rams team this year, especially Matt Stafford coming off. I think they win the West just because you're competing against teams like Seattle.
Yeah.
49ers will go mid-tier, and then the Cardinals will go mid-tier as well, as they always do once the new COD comes out. Look it up.
Every year.
Proven facts is
every year.
Performance drops. But anyway, we'll get to that. Anyways, Bills here, not close. They lost practically nobody, have only strengthened all of their positions. Bills are my pick for the Super Bowl. Vegas is saying that it's going to be Bills-Packers. But
sorry, man, I've seen what you guys have at receiver. There's no chance.
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying I agree with it, but Vegas, the majority of Vegas's money for the NFC Super Bowl contender is the Packers.
Okay, well, speaking of the Packers, let's talk about Packers-Vikings. Vikings are everyone's dark horse team in the NFC this year. New head coach, Kirk Cousins back, Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Irv Smith, Adam Thielen. They have some weapons on defense as well. And then, of course, you have the defending MVP and Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, no Devontae Adams, but they do add some, I believe it's Christian Watkins, the new rookie wide receiver. Am I saying that right, Vaughn? Watson. There you go. Watson. Alan Lazard. I don't know, man. Like this, but I think the Packers defense is elite. I think they have some studs. Most of them come from Georgia. I think that they'll win the North. I think this Vikings hype's a little overblown. I think Aaron Rodgers is so good that he'll make anyone an all-pro wide receiver. I know that he's going to miss Devontae Adams, but I think Aaron Rodgers is good enough. I look at it like this. If you are that guy at quarterback, you can work with what you got. I've seen Brady do it. I've seen Breeze make all pros out of mailman. Like, shit. I watched a guy named Tommy Lee Lewis catch touchdown passes, okay, from Drew Brees. I've seen Chris Hogan be turned into an all-pro by Tom Brady. I think Aaron Rodgers can do the same thing. I think he'll find a guy. I want to see this rookie out of North Dakota State. I've seen him in person at the Senior Bowl. I think the kid can play. I would have liked them to get one of the big guys like, Burks or Olave, or if they could have traded up and get Jameson, but I feel like Rodgers will make it work. Aaron Jones will probably get a little bit, and AJ Dillon will get a little bit more of the workload. I think the Vikings hype's a little overblown. I'm taking Green Bay, and I'm going to take the over, though. I'm going to take the over at 47.
Wow. Okay. Well, you got more belief in that offense than I do. Aaron Rodgers is going to get the most out of his guys. Two quarterbacks in this league that can do that's Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Drew Brees, if he was still playing. Those are your guys that can, like you said, turn me into an all-pro wide receiver, right? So you got to roll with the hot hand here. NFL MVP last year. I do think this spread can be a little bit of a sweat, though. I can totally see the Vikings getting the ball back 2 minutes, but I do not trust Kirk Cousins to run a 2-minute drive to go down and tie the game or win the game for you. So I'm taking Packers -1.5, but I'm actually going to go under. I think the Packers rely heavily on their run game. Vikings love to use the run. I think this is a kind of a drag out affair, lots of running, lots of, running of the clock essentially. So I think this game goes fast. -1.5 is easy. Over under 47. Give me the under.
Okay. All right, Bon, how you feeling about your team, bud?
I am taking the Packers here. If the Vikings had anyone other besides Kirk Cousins, I would probably go Vikings here just because of how stacked their offensive weapons are. But like y'all have said, Aaron Rodgers is going to make the most of his 1 week that he'll get with Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins, as we all know, is going to go he's going to go for 150 yards, 2 touchdowns, and then break his femur in the fourth quarter. I have been saying this all offseason. I am super high on Romeo Doubs. I think he is that dude. I think he will be our solid wide receiver 2 by trade deadline. And we'll try and offload some of the dudes. Also, Quay Walker is our only starting rookie on the team. So we're returning a lot of experience on defense. So I'm also going to take the under here as well. I think we can hold Minnesota's offense fairly well.
I expect a big play action play from Justin Jefferson. This is a new offensive coach, a new scheme. A lot of people are high on the Vikings this year. Until I see it, I'm not going to believe it. I think Dalvin Cook, though, I desperately need him to go off for my fantasy team. Just a heads up. All right. This is the battle of the Alabama starters, Patriots, Dolphins. My boy Mackie Jones. I love what he did his rookie year. Tua finally has a good supporting cast around him. He's got the offensive lineman. He got Tyreek Hill in the offseason. He has a coach that actually believes in him. I think the biggest question mark is Mac Jones and the Patriots offense. We have no idea where they're going to be. Hell, we don't even know who's calling plays yet. But Mac Jones did, and Tua got announced that they are team captains. Love to see it. As much as I don't want to, I'm going Miami. I have to. I think Tua is set up for success. He's got the tight end. I love Gesicki. I think Gesicki is one of the most underrated players, especially at tight end. I love Jalen Waddle. I know he's been a little questionable. Held him out in the preseason. I can't wait to see how they incorporate Tyreek Hill. they want to use him kind of like a Deebo Samuel type. Miami's defense, though, I think they can step up. I like some of the pieces that they have. Man, yeah, I'm going Miami. I think they win. I think this is, unfortunately, I don't like this Patriots team. I love Mac Jones. I love Damian Harris. I think that Belichick is the greatest coach in the history of NFL, but I just think this Miami team's just a little too good on paper right now. I'm also going to take the under at 46. I think 46 is too high for this game. I could see this being like a 21-27 game. Not even. I even think that would be too high. I think maybe like 21-17.
Yeah. No, I mean, Dolphins are really good this year. Tua, I think is a dark horse to win the NFL MVP this year based on just the talent around him. I think he can throw the ball all over the place. He probably has one of the best, one of the most accurate arms in the league. I think he can put a dot on anything. Having said that, you don't give Bill Belichick points on the road. Historically, he loves to beat Miami. Give me Patriots plus 3.5. I love Belichick. I love Mac Jones opening up here. I think, honestly, I could totally see this game, Patriots winning outright, and everybody coming for Tua's head at the end of it.
I feel wrong betting against my boy Mackie Jones.
I'll bet on Mac Jones for you. How about that?
Thank you. That makes me feel good. Super Savage Steven 2.0 is here, by the way.
I'm taking the Fins here. I think that now that Tua has people that can reliably catch the ball, this will hopefully finally be the year that the Tua slander ends. I just do not like the weapons that Mac Jones has. Miami shored up a lot of stuff in the offseason, and I think that the Dolphins are going to make a run for second place in this division and grab a wild card.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that if the Bills were not in this division, that Miami would be a legit contender for a 2 or 3 seed.
100%.
I think so. I think this Dolphins team, I think they're very talented. Now, I think they have the capability of splitting with Buffalo, and they're going to have to. I think if they can split with Buffalo, that'd be huge. But I think right now they're better. They're definitely better than the Jets, especially with Joe Flacco playing the first 4 weeks. And then I think there's just too many question marks with this Patriots team right now. So, all right, Nick.
Time to take my medicine.
It's Falcons hate week. Saints Falcons week 1. One of the most underrated rivalries in the NFL. It's hard not to love this game. Throw the records out. Doesn't matter. These two teams hate each other. These two fan bases hate each other. Marcus Mariota, the new starting quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons, going up against my comeback player of the year. And I think Jameis Winston is he's going to prove a lot of the haters wrong this year. He's coming off an ACL injury. I feel good. I like the Saints team a lot, Nick. You know this. Saints are favored at -5.5. Over-under is 42. And this is my lock of the week, by the way. I will run to this spread. Not walk, run. I like the Saints. I like them a lot. I think this defense is top 3 in the NFL. I know they just traded Chauncey Gardner, but he wasn't even a starter to begin with. I like what we added offensively. Michael Thomas, back at practice today, said he's going to start. This is going to be great. Chris Olave, great odds to win Rookie of the Year. Jarvis Landry in the slot. Taysom Hill at tight end. Mark Ingram and Alvin Kamara at running back. I like the Saints team a lot. They're actually my pick to win the NFC South, not the Bucs. I think the Saints team, I don't have them making the Super Bowl. I'm not there yet. I'm not going to say that. They are a playoff team. I think we can all agree on that. They are very talented on paper as long as injuries don't play a huge factor in this team. But with that being said, Saints -5.5. Take that all day. And I'm going over 42 points. I'm going over.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to not like the Saints in this spot. I mean, Jameis Winston, I think, is a super good quarterback. He stays healthy. I think he absolutely has a chance to win Comeback Player of the Year. This offense is probably the best wide receiving core in the league. Then you got 2 studs at running back, older guy and Mark Ingram, but then Alvin Kamara is just, I mean, he's that guy. It's hard to not love that guy. Yeah. To my knowledge, he isn't suspended, correct?
Nope.
Yeah, as of yet, he's still not suspended. So, yeah, hard to not like. Saints 5.5 here. Falcons plus 5.5.
Oh,
I got to ride with my team. I'm not one of those. Screw money. Don't give a shit.
The
Falcons
matchup
plus 5.5.
the matchup I want to watch is Kyle Pitts versus the Saints defense. I think that's gonna be must watch. I think Marshawn Lattimore is gonna shut Drake London down. I love that matchup.
Yeah, no, it's hard to. I mean, again, yeah, I mean, Saints are better on paper in almost every single actually, probably every single facet of the game,
Except tight end.
Except tight end.
I give you
them
tight
that.
end. I give you tight end, and I'll give you.
That's about it.
That's honestly about it. Yeah, O line Saints, D line Saints. I do like AJ Terrell, but I think I would take Marshawn Lattimore.
I would take Lattimore over Terrell though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's tough.
I
I do like. I'll give you Grady Jarrett. I'll give you Grady over.
But, I mean,
over,
but then again,
yeah.
having said that, how many games have the Falcons and Saints played? And it's like on paper, Saints are the better team, or
It's
on
true.
paper, Falcons are the better team, and
That's true.
the other team ends up winning. This game being at home, I think plays a little bit. If this was in New Orleans, this might be a 10.5, 11-point spread.
Yeah.
So and then I think just because of that, this 5.5 is almost baiting you to take it. Vegas makes all their money in the NFL.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Falcons plus 5.5 and just pray to God Marcus Mariota finds like the 2012 in him. I don't know. Is that when he played at Oregon?
Yeah, he played at Oregon. He won the Heisman in 2014.
Okay, so 2014 Mariota.
All right, Nick. Best of luck, buddy. Hope your team loses. Me and Bond will probably be watching it in Austin together if he wants to stay.
I can't. I got an 11-hour drive home in class on Monday.
All right.
That's going to be a brutal drive.
Yeah, big hungover drive. But I am taking the Saints here. I think this spread is absurdly disrespectful, even though it's in Atlanta. I think the Falcons are lucky to put up 10 points.
Agreed. Completely agreed. Having said that, Falcons plus 5.5.
So I'm taking Saints minus 5.5. I am going to take the under here just because I don't think the Falcons are going to contribute to it.
Okay. All right. So I'm glad we're
Saints are great week 1 too. Didn't they beat the Packers week 1 last year?
We beat the Packers. We beat the Bucks in 2020. We beat Deshaun Watson in 2019 at the walk-off field goal. So we've been a really good week 1 team as of late. So I would love for opening day to be in New Orleans against the Falcons, but our opening day game in the Superdome is against Brady and the Bucks.
That's awesome.
And I will be there for that, covering that. So I cannot wait. And our last game of our picks, I like this a lot. Cardinals versus Chiefs. Crazy offseason for Kansas City. They lose arguably 2 of their top 3 or top 5 players in the Honey Badger and in Tyreek Hill. Kyler Murray, brand new contract. Homeboy got paid, but lot of backlash coming off of it. I like Kansas City in this game. I think Kansas City has something to prove. Patrick Mahomes to me is still the best quarterback in the NFL. I know a lot of people are saying Josh Allen. I think Patrick Mahomes is better. I've watched Patrick Mahomes break hearts last year, especially with the Bills. I know maybe that there would have been a coin flip and Buffalo would have gotten another chance to score. They might still be playing football, honestly. But I gotta go Kansas City, man. I like Patrick Mahomes too much, and I love Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy came back, and I think they have a lot of people to prove wrong. I think they'll still win the AFC West. I'm gonna go out and say that. I think
this is a tough division this year.
It is a tough division, but look,
great colors in that division.
Great, fantastic uniforms. We really are. The Raiders, I gotta see to believe it. New head coach Josh McDaniels. I didn't like anything he did at Denver. That's not the easiest place to win. I know they got Devontae Adams and Derek Carr, but I mean they're basically getting rid of everything Mayock and John Gruden did. Denver, man, they better win and fast. The money that they gave up and the draft picks and the capital they gave up for Russell Wilson, they better win. I like their defense a lot, but I think they'll get a wild card spot. And then LA, man, I think they are
very good.
They on paper, no, but listen, on paper, LA should have won like 5 Super Bowls in the last like 20 years.
True.
They've had Phillip Rivers, LaDainian Tomlinson, Keenan Allen, Antonio Gates, Darren Sproles, Ryan Matthews, just Quentin, like the list goes on of the guys that they have had. You got to call it. You eventually have to call them what they are, and that's paper champions. That's what they are. Until I see it, I'm not picking them to win anything. In fact, you claim that to have the best roster and the best quarterbacks of all time in the NFL, yet you can't win. You can't even make the playoffs. Like, you're betting on a tie to get you in.
Yeah.
So I'm not picking them. I know they're everyone's sexy pick to make the Super Bowl this year. I'm not, though. So I'm going to say that the Chargers barely make the wild card. I like Kansas City in this division, and I like Kansas City -6. I'm taking the over, though. I think this is going to be a shootout.
Yeah, and you said it right there at the end. This is a shootout. Over 50. Is it 54? Yeah, over 54. That's happening. 100%. Kyler Murray just got paid. You're right. But just because he got paid doesn't mean he doesn't have that chip on his shoulder. Still gets a lot of shit for no reason, this guy. I don't really understand why. But let me tell you something right now. The Arizona defense is extremely underrated, and I love Budda Baker. I love everybody on this defense. I think they do enough to keep Patrick Mahomes tight, and Kyler Murray does enough on the offensive side. I would not actually be shocked if the Cardinals actually win this game outright. Think they're that good. Get Cardinals, and it's at home. Give me Cardinals +6 road or at home dogs. Love it.
I am taking the Chiefs here just because D-Hop is suspended for, I think, 6 games for PEDs. But I think this is going to be a shootout. We all know how Kyler Murray plays first 8 weeks of the seasons. He's got to get enough wins for the Cardinals to make the playoffs before October 28th when Modern Warfare 2 comes out. And then he's going to be struggling with every double XP weekend after that, which drops his performance even more. This is statistically proven, by the way.
He loves his game, man. That's true.
But yeah, I think it's a tough week 1 matchup for them. And the over definitely hits. I don't think the Cardinals cover +6. So I'm taking the Chiefs probably by 10.
I like that. That's a good pick. I like that. That's good. It's a good breakdown, but I just like Kansas City a little bit more in this matchup. So, okay. Well, what is your lock of the week, NFL edition?
Oh, man. This one is... It's got... I can't take Saints -5.5 because it's yours. You know what? I'll go Bills -2. I feel like Bills covered by 2 touchdowns there, so I'll take Bills -2.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate that. I really truly don't. But I think my lock of this week is going to be the Packers. I think this game is one of those where it comes down to Kirk Cousins at the end. And what does Kirk Cousins always do when it comes down to a 2-minute drive? He throws the game away. So give me the Packers -1.5 on the road at the Vikings. That's an easy bet.
Wyatt, what about you, bud?
This is one of the most disrespectful lines. This team is heading to Detroit when they've got offensive weapons such as Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown. Jalen Hurts looks like he's going to be that guy in Philly with the weapons they've put around him. I'm taking Philly -4.
So over the Eagles talk. And of course, I'm taking Saints.
-4 in Detroit, though?
I'm taking Saints -5.5. I don't even need to go into it. That's my
It's
luck
a
of the week.
It's a big step for the Eagles this year. I'll tell you, like, truly. It's a big step for them. And I think they actually do get it done. I love Jalen Hurts this year. I think he's quietly a dark horse.
Dark horse what?
I think he's going to be a great quarterback. Nobody's talking about him.
He's projected, right? Or a lot of people have him being the number 1 QB in fantasy this year.
I mean, yeah, fantasy. I'll give you that.
He's going to have tons of production. It's going to be on
right.
him.
You got to produce to be number 1 in fantasy.
Yeah,
he's got weapons and he's got a half-decent offensive line.
He's got A.J. Brown. The running game is going to suck, and it's going to be in a committee because your Miles Sanders is your RB1. They just shored up their offensive line.
This is going to be Russell Wilson when he had DK Metcalf that first year, where he just freaking went off and he was the best fantasy quarterback that year. I could see it kind of being similar to that. I don't think Jalen Hurts is as good as Russell Wilson back then, but I mean, it's a big step for him. He was voted captain of the team. He's a leader on that team. Everybody loves him. I think Philly's really truly accepted him as their quarterback. So everybody's behind him. Big year for him in Philly this year, and I can't happen to a nicer guy, man. Come on.
All right. Well, I guess that's going to wrap it up. So, with that being said, this week's episode. College football week 2, NFL week 1. You can follow me along at the Real Cruise Ox on Instagram and Twitter. Make sure that you follow all socials that are Ox Squared Podcast and Boot Crew Media. Boys, how can they find you?
At In Perkins 96 before I have to run to get into a meeting because I actually still do have a job. Podcasting does not pay the bills, so I have to run to get to a meeting. But at In Perkins 96, I appreciate everybody. Let's have a good week too. Thank you guys.
You can follow me online at @BounceNo_, and of course follow us on all socials, including TikTok. We are still growing pretty steadily over there. We're up to 875 the last I checked earlier today, and would love to have you guys over there.
Guys, don't even follow me. Follow at the Oxford Pod on Twitter and all social platforms, and be sure to follow Boot Crew. And as always this week, horns down.
Horns down. Love you guys. See you next week.